my fellow administrators, our dear principal, members of the Directors' Council, our faculty, staff, parents, alumni, and guests, and most especially to our graduating batch 2009 and 2010. Good afternoon to all of you. As we were observing you coming here for this important ceremony of your life, you know, we are surprised. There is something different in you. Kung tingnan mo ang katabi mo, do you see something different with the person? I think with the new grooming of the boys and the makeover of the faces of the girls, sabi namin, sana araw-araw ay graduation dahil magaganda at guwapo kayo. But there is one look of yours that was so amazing, and we will not forget your JS prom look. Yeah, it was really gorgeous, radiant, you know, and wow, fantastic. Parang sabi ko, hindi ko yata estudyante ang mga ito. My dear graduating students, there is one look of yours that you should not forget. And what's that? The look of a person who had been enlightened by the Word. The Word is Jesus, Son of God. Because if you have that look and you live with it and you carry that within you, always conscious and aware that you are enlightened by the Word, then you can soar high. This is the theme of our graduation. Enlightened by the Word, soar high, Giuseppian. I'd like to focus on the first line, enlightened by God's Word. Perhaps to better understand this, we need a model of one who has been enlightened by the Word and lived his life as such. And I'd like to bring to your memory this special person so close to us here at school. I believe there is so much we can still learn from him after all the years you've spent in this institution. And he is no other than our patron and our father in this community, Saint Joseph. In our gospel, the gospel according to Matthew, we should note that this account of the event of the birth of Jesus was seen from the eyes of Joseph and not of Mary. This is one peculiar thing about the account of Matthew. He was relating the story from the eyes of Joseph and not Mary. Joseph's name here was mentioned 4 times by the evangelist. And yet, we know so little about him. What we do know about him is that there are 3 things initially stand out about this man. Joseph was perplexed, Joseph was marginal, and Joseph was a loser. Why did I say perplexed? He was perplexed as he found out that Mary, his fiancée, was pregnant by another man, as far as he could tell. He was torn between his trust in Mary's word and what seemed like the obvious facts, that she may be in love with another man. Joseph was afraid to take her as his wife, as the angel told him. Between his knowledge of Mary's condition and his dream of a perfect marriage, Joseph spent tortured days and sleepless nights. For there was so much he did not understand. The second point is, Joseph was marginal. You know, when you say marginal, it means unimportant, insignificant. In the gospel, he comes and goes quickly, gone and forgotten. There is not even one recorded word of Joseph. Well, everyone has something to say, from the angel to Mary, the shepherds, even Herod, the three kings. They have some lines to say in the story. But Joseph had none. All he had was silence. Why? Because the spotlight was to Jesus and Mary. And Joseph was not even the real father here. He was just a stepdad. He was marginalized. And finally, the third point is, Joseph was a loser. He had to fall in love with a mystic. You know what a mystic is? Someone claimed by a higher power. Joseph had to struggle with doubts and desperately search for answers. He lost his wife to God, as it were. Then this so-called great family man lost his only son, that he had to go looking for him down the alleys of Jerusalem. Now finally, he lost his life, somewhere between that search for Jesus and the start of Jesus' public ministry. He was gone. He left his wife a widow and his son fatherless. Well, to put it simply, it was not a great track record. Joseph was a loser. Yet in these times of ours, my dear young graduates, Joseph, of all the characters who appear in our gospel story this afternoon, speaks to many of us, resonates to many of us, and identifies with many of us. Truly someone enlightened by the Word. So first, we have said that Joseph was perplexed. And we are also perplexed, isn't it? There is so much that we do not understand in today's world. My dear young graduates, even in the near future, there will always be something that we would never understand. No? Like when families break up, when young people get hooked in drugs, why parents divorce, why our country is so messy and corruption is everywhere, why rich people getting richer and poor people getting poorer, why there is so much violence, terrorism in the name of God, and even calamities. In short, why is there so much evil? We are perplexed with those questions. But notice this, my dear young friends. Notice Joseph. Joseph, who was also perplexed, he did not just stand there paralyzed.